Hello, hello. This is Christina, your host today, and this is a new episode of KSM Podcast, Growing Business Online with Christina. And I'm so excited today to have my special guest, my dear friend, far away from Australia, Lady Samantha Jansen. Samantha, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Christina, for having me on your podcast today. I'm really excited to be here.
Thank you, dear Samantha, for joining me after a long time. And I'm so happy to have you today. So tell us a little bit about you, just for our audience to know who you are and what you do.
Yeah, absolutely. So in terms of myself, my name is Samantha Jansen. I'm based in Melbourne, Australia. I have been a business owner for about 12 years, and I have run a book publishing business for almost 10 years, which has been an incredible journey to support and journey with aspiring authors who want to write and publish their book. It's been incredible to have facilitated over 250 publications so far and coached well and truly over 350 authors over the last nearly 10 years. It's such a privilege that I get to hear deep stories that often haven't quite been shared yet. And I kind of go, what a privilege it is for me to be one of those first people that hear somebody's heart and their story, and then to journey with them as they write and publish the book. So in terms of what I do and our business does, we support authors right around the world who want to write and self-publish their book, and we look after the editing, typeset, design, helping them put their book on Amazon and various other online platforms for global online distribution. So that's a little bit about what we do. And in terms of my personal life, outside of me running this business, I'm a mom to two children. I've got a daughter that is 15 and a son that is 12. So, yeah, I wear many hats and it's a privilege. So, that's a little bit about me.
Yeah, Samantha, you're so rich woman. I must say that you're mother of two amazing kids, running your two businesses. What I heard. We're going to talk about that today. And what is a curious, met you maybe for now, I don't know, but 8 years ago, let's say.
I think so. I think it was somewhere in maybe 2017, because the book that we did together with a group of other authors, that journey started in 2018 and it launched in 2019, which is this book right here, Global Women in Business. So this book launched for International Women's Day in 2019. So I think we originally connected in 2017. And here we are, 8 years
Yeah.
later, still
Yes,
chatting,
and I
having
said
amazing
8 years ago.
conversations.
That's so true. I said eight
Here we
years.
are.
So, and I'm so excited because Samantha, we just as women, we just uh, take care and nurture such an amazing long-term relationship, and this is something incredible. And when I met you online, it was for me, to be honest, I was so shy in front of camera. And then I went through the process, and here I am today with you in my podcast. So just people don't, but this is something what people need to, let's start, let's do it, isn't
Absolutely.
it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think it's so important that even if we are uncomfortable with something, we start somewhere because we're never going to be perfect. I don't believe in being perfect. I believe in progress. So I think looking at your journey, Christina, from when we first connected to now look at the impact you're having globally through what you're doing with your podcast, but also with your business and all that you do. I mean, what an incredible global impact it has been.
Thank you for sharing that, and also maybe it's so thankful to the book Global Women in Business, which I'm
Yeah.
so proud of, and it's amazing just to connect it women from three continents. I mean, seven amazing ladies.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm always filled with gratitude in those moments. I think, when you start a conversation, whether that's meeting someone for the very first time online or you meet someone just in conversation at a coffee shop or at a networking event or at a business event, you never know where that conversation would lead. And I always say, when you're having a conversation with someone, be intentional, be fully present to the conversation, listen to their heart, ask prompting questions, and as a result of that, you get to connect on a deeper level. And the moment you connect on a deeper level, I think that opens up the opportunity to continue that conversation. And you just never know where that conversation would lead you. I mean, look at us now, 8 years on from where we first started. It's all because we were open. Both of us were willing and intentional about the time we spent on Zoom, and we connected. We had lots of conversations. Yes, there was a time difference, but we still showed up and we were committed to that. And that has resulted not just in the book, but you have translated this book and being circulating that, which is incredible. So I think the power of the conversation and being intentional with it is key.
Yeah, and my intention was just to translate this book in my native Serbian language.
Yeah.
And So, and finally I've done that, and I think that is going to be this year hard copy, and I will put to my audience because
Yeah.
it's English, it's podcast is in English, but there are people who speak English, and there are many people in Australia and globally in all around the world. So that will be so amazing to have that book in my native language as one of co-author, which I wish also to other co-authors to do the same, because it's so big value. I mean,
Yeah, absolutely. No, I love that.
and Samantha, tell us a little bit about what triggered you. I know about your story, but for our audience, what triggered you to start your publishing? You mentioned that you're that, and also finally tell us a little bit about your new other business, what you do.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, the trigger point for the publishing business has a little bit of a backstory. So I'm going to give you a very quick take on that backstory that led to the start of this. So about 12 years ago or thereabouts, when I decided to go into business, all I had was purely my drive to make a difference. I didn't have all the systems, I didn't have a team. It was me. I was the sales, marketing, coach, everything. I wore 10 different hats. And I used to go to a lot of networking events in person in Melbourne, Australia, when I started my coaching consultancy business. And that was ticking along okay, but it wasn't great. In terms of, when I say wasn't great, it wasn't great because financially it was not enough to sustain me and to help me feed my family and to really grow to the next level. So I was making money, but not really seeing a big take up on how things were going to progress. Being a mother at the time with young children, my son was a baby, my daughter was a toddler. I had a lot of responsibilities. And I would add that I was a single mom. I am still a single mom, and it was very real for me to be able to provide for my family and be financially stable. So I was going to these networking events and connecting and talking about what I did from a coaching consultancy space. And it was converting, but not great. And then one day I met this beautiful lady. She has since passed away now, but we connected at a networking event, and she told me about the power of having a collaborative book and writing one chapter in a book and leveraging that to build your personal brand. Now, I had never heard about it, and I was like, tell me more. I'm intrigued. Tell me more. So she explained to me where you would write one chapter in a book, and then collectively it will get edited, published. And once it launches, I can use it as a tool when I'm out there speaking. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to take a chance on this kind of different marketing strategy that I've not heard of. I've heard of Facebook ads and Google ads and all of that, but I've not heard of this. So I was like, I'll try that. So I participated in this book called Healthy Minds. This was the book called Healthy Minds. I wrote one chapter about the importance of having a positive mindset because I've always believed that your mindset determines how your day plays out, and your mindset determines how your life plays out. So I shared my take on it. The book came out, the book launched, and from the moment the book came out, I started seeing my business grow. As in, I was getting paid speaking engagements, I was getting more coaching clients, I was being given opportunities to be at events that I would have necessarily not been invited to had I not had the book. So then I decided, you know what? I'm going to write a book. So I wrote a book. This is, I want to say about 10 years now. I wrote a book, yeah, actually, probably 9.5 years ago, because the business is about 9.5 years old. I wrote a book called No Qualifications, No Excuses. And that was my personal story where I shared about how I don't have a degree in sales or marketing or journalism. What I have is a drive to make a difference, and I know who I am, and I'm committed to making a difference as opposed to coming up with excuses. So that's why the book was titled No Qualifications, No Excuses. And once I had written it, I explored what it was like to self-publish. And there was lots of things out there, but I needed it simplified. So I thought, you know what? I'll do it myself and set up my own business. And as they say, the rest is history. And that was where Samantha Jansen Publishing was born. I set up the business. I published that book. That was my first book. And thereafter, since then, over the last 9 years, we have been, yeah, working with authors around. A lot of our authors are Australian based. And then we have quite a few authors across the world that we support, whether that is coaching them through the writing or helping them self-publish the book. And here we are,
Yeah.
well and truly nine
And
years on.
congratulations on such amazing work because, and in that time, as you mentioned, I don't know, I met that lady. It was look like pivoting something,
Yeah,
start with that. And to be honest, when I met you, some social media networking event and or however anyhow the first what I noticed and I know I have known in that time is about self-publishing. And to be honest, I saw that, and after that when I just realized that and opened my eyes to see and to get into that, to research what is it and how it works. And in very practical side was your company because and after that I saw that it's popular in US, in Australia, but in that time, just to publish a book and to write a chapter, this is for me was like, okay, this is something really incredible for me, especially to have a book in a global
yeah,
market
yeah.
with ladies from all around the world, and that's fantastic. Almost such a great experience.
So glad it was for you. And it was such a privilege because until I met you and we connected and we worked together, I had never worked with somebody in that part of the world. So it was really exciting to go, wow, we get to connect on a different level and explore various possibilities. Because I think for us, women in business, or just in general, it's important to understand the power of collaboration and really being intentional with those collaborations on how we can grow each other's businesses and support one another.
Yes, and also in that time around the digital also a web team for the web and graphic design, and Samantha was such a good referral, just to connect me with help me with getting clients. Or yeah, it was such a, but we're still in that relationship, so professional, I mean, in business, and this is something amazing. And thank you, Samantha, for gave me opportunity for that to grow and support me and support you. Yeah, it's lovely what women can do, isn't it?
Power of a woman that is on a mission and wants to make a difference. Oh, yep, on mission, as I say.
Yeah, as we have in our book, Mission and
Yeah,
Purpose, and they
that's
share
it.
their amazing stories there, like
That's it.
about their ups and downs. But
Yeah.
as a mom. and
The
mother and
joys of
businesswoman.
parenting.
And Samantha, can you share with us about your book a little bit, your own book, what you wrote, new
Yeah,
one, the newest one,
yeah.
and also about your new brand.
Yeah,
You,
absolutely. So the book right there, just behind me, I'll show you a little bit. So it is called A Renewed Life. This came out in September of 2024. And this is where I talk about my faith journey and another business that I launched at the end of 2022. So, at the end of 2022, once I had graduated from studying counseling, I launched a brand called the Renewed Wellness Company. And it is designed to offer coaching and counseling programs that work with women that are looking to deepen their faith walk and really live out their life purpose. So this book, I talk about my journey and a framework that I have created. So that's a little bit about it. And in terms of what we're doing this year, uh, we have just launched a community called Women of Grace and Wellness, and that is a monthly community that will come together in various locations across Melbourne for now. And then ideally, I have a big mission. I want to reach 10,000 women by 2030 globally through this mission. So I am committed to gathering women in small groups of about 10 to 12 people where we unpack the renewed life framework. So I've got a framework, a three-part framework that I share, and really helping them live out their life purpose and yeah, go for what they're called to go. But the catch is there's a little catch. This particular coaching program and my entire business model is all about helping women to slow down just a little bit so they can really uncover who they are in the stillness. Because something that I found while doing my counseling studies for those 2 years and then looking back at my coaching clients over the last, almost decade, there was one thing that came up. And that one thing was women are constantly on the go mode and they really struggle to sit in silence. So I'm on a mission while impacting these 10,000 women to actually get women to slow down long enough that they can experience true silence, and in the stillness, they'll uncover their true potential. So that is my mission, Christina. So let's go. I've got 5 years
yeah,
to impact 10,000
congratulations,
women.
congratulations. And I always believe in you that you will go and like a step by step up and up because knowing you how you think, how you resonate, and as a coach, as a speaker, as a publisher, and all your previous experience as a single mom and juggling between many things, this is something amazing. And I'm so happy, and I really wish you such a great success, big
Thank
success to share your brand and to just to grow with that and to help and just your big goal, what you said, as you mentioned, 2030 will be
Yes, 10,000 women by 2030. So I've got 5 years to impact 10,000 lives.
that's really impressive. How can I say it? And as you mentioned, we really need to sit in calm place, and we really need to have our self talk with us because we wanna many things, and we really have only 8 hours per day, and we really need to slow down. And in that way, I mean that we can get more to design, to have ideas to move, but to be much more focused at the present
Mm,
moment.
yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I think something that you just highlighted, Christina, is the importance of slowing down. I see a lot of business people, men and women, don't get me wrong, it's across the board. They are always on. It's even when they're having dinner or when they're out with the family, this constant need of being on. Look, I get it. I'm a business owner. I get it. I've just launched a new business. It's only 2.5 years old. we're still getting our runs on the board, as I call it, right? And then I've got the publishing business that has an entire team, so it works differently. So I get it. I get the pain, I get the challenges, and I get the purpose and drive. I get all of that. I think where I'm looking at it a little bit differently is the importance of being able to intentionally switch off. And I mean switch off where you're not refreshing your inbox, you're not opening social media, you're not texting a team member going, "Hey, have you checked that?" You're not on any other app on your phone that is, we have so many different apps that we can manage our team members and chat and all of that. But I'm going, can you be fully present? Like if you go to the beach, can you sit in the beach for 3 hours and not look at your phone? Can you go for a walk for 1 hour and not look at your phone and not even think about the emails? Can you actually listen to the sound of the birds and the way the wind is hitting the leaves on the trees? Like, can you be fully present to that? And that's the part that I'm trying to get people to take time to slow right down to go, hang on. If I sat here and closed my eyes, what sounds am I hearing? Not the thoughts, because we know your brain doesn't stop. It's constantly going. What sounds am I hearing? Am I hearing the cars in the distance? Am I hearing a neighbor watering their garden? Like, what am I hearing? And when I hear that, now what am I feeling? And then when I feel that, what am I thinking? Do you see how when we start processing that for once in, I don't know, a few hours, we get to switch our mind off from all the to do things and be intentional to our surroundings? Because in that stillness, we get to slow right down. So that is my hope and prayer, Christina, with that business and with the community that we have just launched to, yeah, impact 10,000 lives. So, yeah.
That's lovely, and this is a way how you just turn off your logic mind and on your intuitive mind, because this is a way when you put your intuition and be with yourself, because we every single day we need that to sit in calm place and just put our energy at one place, as you mentioned, what we know, where you focus, where your focus goes, your energy flows. So this is something
Correct.
what we really need, especially if we have weekend, just to go somewhere on a picnic or sit down and just put your legs in the water and just like relax on the beach. Especially you in Australia, you have many beaches there, so
Absolutely.
I
I love the
love
beach.
that.
Yeah, I love the beach. I'm a beach person. There are lots of mountains and beautiful walks to go, but I'm definitely a beach person because I'm originally from Sri Lanka. So coming from a small island, the beach is what I know. So I absolutely love the beach.
Yes, that's amazing. And when you mentioned that, as you said, we really need to focus on ourselves. And this is why, what do you think to know who we are? What is our purpose in this world?
Correct. Absolutely. I think something that I have been a lot more intentional in the last probably 3 to 4 years is asking myself, what legacy will I leave when my time is up on earth? What difference would I have made to the community that I serve? And what will my kids and their kids and the generations after remember with my name? Because, yes, people can leave an inheritance and leave money and houses, but do we all want something material, or do we want to look back and say, oh, my great grandma, she did that for the community, and as a result, 10,000 plus lives were impacted? Or do I want to be remembered going, oh, yeah, I left my grandkids a house? Like, where is the impact? You know what I mean? So for me, it's all about really being intentional with the purpose-driven life and leaving a legacy. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I agree with you 100%. As you mentioned, you have self-publishing companies. So just imagine how many books you will put in legacy.
Yeah.
It's going to be something like amazing. what you said,
Yeah,
what your grandkids will say. Hey, my uh, grandma Samantha, she was doing this and that. Just imagine how it's impactful just to have many books wrote
yeah,
together as a common as a co-author's book, or what you wrote, or also your own book, and all everything what you do. This is, and for other women as well, like to
absolutely, absolutely. And that's why I think it's such a privilege that myself and my team, we get to talk to people firsthand and hear their stories and understand what they're looking to achieve. Like for me, that is deeply personal. We are trusted people where somebody can pour their heart out, tell me their vision, tell me their goals, and tell me what they want to achieve. And then we can coach them through the process of writing and bringing that book to life. I mean, it's such a huge privilege to be at that starting point of the journey and then see the fruit of that. 3 to 6 months later to go here, whether it's my own book or it's like Global Women in Business, right? When we did this, like what a big impact it is for us to make that difference. So yeah, it's very special and a very privileged role that I get to play in it. So I'm grateful.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, and thank you so much for giving me opportunity to be a part of that book. And I
You
always, whenever I go and to as a speaker, and you're a speaker also, and I'm speaker, and I was also having a summit last year. And whenever you can start with, I'm co-author of the book Global Women in Business, and just imagine how it sounds good, sounds very impactful, global.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that was the intention, right? When you and I started, along with the other five women, when we started talking in 2018 to then launching in 2019 on International Women's Day, we wanted something that had a deeper foundation. We didn't want a surface level. We were like, no, we want global impact. We want to look at how that flows. And here we are, still having conversations
Still
and
having
making a difference.
conversation, still planning what to do, still planning how to collaborate. And Samantha, in terms of your clients, who are most, because you know that this podcast is so dedicated to women and to female and male entrepreneurs, to spread the word about their business globally, and share about with us a little about your clients. Who do you coach, and what is more, through that you have self-publishing either, and also new brand company. So share with us who are mostly your clients, and how do you serve them? Do you do one coaching, one to the group coaching, and also if you have something like for our listeners, maybe some kind of checklist or some freebie. Also, we will put all information about you below this podcast. So links to your website and all those kind of things.
Yeah, absolutely. In terms of the publishing business, we work with authors that are looking to write a book. Generally, these authors are about age 35 plus. Either they want to write a life story, so a bit of a memoir, autobiography style, or they're a business owner, or they are looking to start a business and they want to document transitioning from employee to a purpose-driven life. And the two offerings that we have is I personally do all the coaching for our authors. But if they have already written a manuscript and they want to self-publish it, then myself and the team will look after the editing, typeset, design for them. So generally, the authors are over the age of 30, 35. My oldest, most mature author was in his early 80s, and it was such a privilege to write, to support him as he wrote and published his autobiography. So yeah, it was beautiful. We work with a lot of business and lifestyle based books mainly. And then we work with a lot of pastors and evangelists that want to write Christian content. So those are the two big, I think, niche areas that we specialize in. I'm a Christian myself, and most of my team are of faith. So when it comes to a Christian based book that has biblical references and all of that, we're able to support the author on a deeper level because we read the Bible, we pray, and we're able to tie into that. So, yeah, mainly business owners and Christian leaders and pastors. And then with the Renewed Wellness business, which is my new business, that is mainly women. I coach them through a 12-week program, and then our new gatherings that are happening in Melbourne. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's lovely. And in terms of your community and your brand, you mentioned, but we were talking before our conversation today, that maybe once you will spread the word in global level about your community and your renew company, new brand company.
Yeah, absolutely. So with the Renewed Wellness, currently we've been only working with individuals here in Melbourne because it's quite new. But with what we have just launched, I'm looking to take it nationally and globally next year. So if one of you lovely listeners do hear this and it kind of it speaks to you where you go, I would love to know about the Renewed Wellness business or, you know, women women of grace and wellness community where you think, I would love to know about how I can gather a group of women and run a little cohort. I'd love for them to reach out. I'm on LinkedIn and Facebook. LinkedIn as Samantha Jansen and Samantha Jansen Publishing. You can find me either way on LinkedIn. And on Facebook, you'll find us as Samantha Jansen or Samantha Jansen Publishing as well. And on Instagram as well. I'm across both of them. So all three of them, I should say. So yeah, I'd love to connect with the audience and offer them any support I can, or even answer any questions if they have any about publishing or their own journey of a purpose-driven life. So yeah.
Yeah, and I hope, Samantha, that you will have such a maybe new opportunities for new book project for women if you have something in your plan for next year or maybe for audience where there's going to be some ladies who want to or business owners, male or female too, because you have also a man in the book, uh,
Yes.
business businessman, not just only
Yes.
businesswoman.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
do you have some kind of projects that maybe you can plan in new next years, which come to engage with new authors?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, next year we approach 10 years in the publishing business, so we'll have a few things happening next year. Yeah, and if anybody listening to this kind of goes, I'd love to know more, I've always wanted to write a short story or even an entire book, please reach out because we're not revealing anything yet for our 10-year plan next year, not yet. But there's always the opportunity to have a conversation, just like how you and I connected all those years ago and
Yes, of
had a
course.
conversation.
So, and now we'll have you again to
Yeah,
talk about 10 years of all those
yeah,
kind of things, what you do and what you plan to do. So we'll see, our audience will see you again to talk
yeah,
about new things, what you plan to do in 10 years to celebrate
absolutely.
your business
Absolutely. Yeah,
and
no,
work and
sounds good.
everything. And before we ramp up our call today, do you have something for our new audience who wanted to start business? What would be, let's say, like a message for our audience? You know, there are people who are in stuck to start their business or they wanted to, you know, have business idea, but they don't know how to start or they wanted to pivot something new or they are in corporate and they wanted to after many years in corporate business they wanted to start their own. There are different type of businesses and people, but just like in what you can share with us, just that they can be so their own business journey to have and move forward as we do.
Absolutely. I think I'm going to share two things. One thing is you have to start somewhere. So don't try to wait till your website is perfect, your business cards are great, your social media content is on point. Start somewhere and launch, and then you can keep tweaking for the next 6 to 12 months. From my personal experience, when I first started, I didn't have a lot of money, so I built my own website until I had the funds to have a website professionally built, right? So you got to start somewhere. Pick one thing that you're going to do really well. And if you go, you know what, I'm going to launch and I'm going to drive it on social media, then do that really well. And the website can come later and so on and so forth. The second part, now this is going to challenge a lot of people, but I'm going to say it. And this is where when you decide to launch a business or you want to add a new product or you want to try something new, please don't take advice from your friends and family that don't run a business. If you can't take advice from someone who isn't in the game. And often a lot of people I coach, the one thing I see is they're like, oh, these people don't think it's a great idea and there's this and this. And my first question is, so do they run a business? Are they investing money and time and effort? Oh no, they're my family, they love me. Yeah, but they're not running a business. They don't understand the drive and they don't understand the risk and the willingness and the tenacity it takes. So if you want to take advice, please get advice from people running businesses and not from family and friends and loved ones who are not running a business because they love you and they always will want to keep you safe. But you staying safe is never going to let you live out your life purpose because to live out your life purpose, you have to take risk.
Yes, and you have to connect with coach or mentor, or also if you have something like this to ask, just go and reach out to Samantha Jansen. She can help you just as she working with those communities. Yes, our family can love us, but they all the time, all our life. But if they are not in business, how they can help us to share it and say, okay, this is good for you or not, because they don't have experience. This is so true. And thank you, Samantha, for sharing such amazing words. Thank you so much.
You're most welcome. Thank you so much for having me, and I look forward to talking to you and your community sometime soon.
Thank you, Samantha. Have a lovely day. Regards to your family and wish you all success and everything. Just to be successful with your new business and having such a good new projects, new books on a global level. Thank you again and see you very soon in our new episode. And bye for now. Bye.